in the nation's history going back to the Revolution. Those soldiers are buried in our soil, in this very hallowed soil and historic soil that is Bucks County, from the Revolutionary soldiers buried at the banks of the Delaware River at Washington Crossing, to those from Operation Iraqi Freedom and Afghanistan Freedom, Enduring Freedom, that are buried in the National Cemetery at Washington Crossing. So over the course of 230 years, so many from Pennsylvania and our country, but so many from Bucks County have served, and they've served in many different ways. Some flew airplanes that others helped to build back home. Some fought in celebrated battles like Guadalcanal and Iwo Jima, where Sergeant Sam served us. Others died on battlefields, the names of which are only known to faded old war maps today. And some, they say, had the hardest job, which is to wait at home for the return of a son or a daughter or a spouse, praying that the dreaded telegram from the War Department would never come to their door. But in those years, they've served us. We're here today to reflect on Sam's service, on the warrior service that are with us, and the service of all those that couldn't be with us today. To remember their sacrifice, to recognize that the relative peace and freedom that we have here in Pennsylvania and the United States today, we owe all of that to them. Everything we have, from our freedom to our homes, to our education, to the cars we drove here today, we owe to those who have sacrificed greatly for our nation. And so, as your representative in the House of, in the United States Congress, I had a flag flown over the Capitol this week. We're able to do that in recognition of great accomplishments and for great Americans. And this is a flag flown for our local hero, who had a day named after him today, which is why there's no traffic coming down Street Road. You can probably notice that. Everything is stopped for Sam today, but this flag was flown in recognition of Sergeant Sam Bonanno's sacrifice and service of our nation, and it's my honor to deliver it to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. If somebody wants to help Sam down, see, you don't have to, unless you want to hang up here with me, Sam, you're more welcome. You and I. Do you want to say anything, Sam? Would you like to say anything? Here you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, today I am shocked, in a state of shock, and I don't cry that often, but this time I really have to cry. I want to thank Heather and all you people going through all of this for me, which I honor with all my heart. All I know is that I want to thank you all again for inviting me here to have this honor by the Congressman and Heather and everyone else here. Thank you again.
Sam's going to hang out here with me. Okay, so a lot of people ask me, how'd you get involved in doing what you do? It started with 9/11. 9/11 impacted my life a great deal, just as it did all of you, I'm sure. And I started to collect items to send overseas to our heroes who were fighting the war on terror. So I put 2 big bins out in my driveway. I painted them red, white, and blue. I sent flyers throughout the neighborhood asking for beef jerky, socks, magazines, anything that I thought that our service members would enjoy. And I started to send them overseas. And the response was overwhelming. The bins were overflowing. I had so much stuff, I almost didn't know what to do with it until one day I packed up my bags and put them in the car, drove down to Walter Reed. And the moment I stepped foot in Walter Reed, that's where my heart was. My heart was with the wounded and taking care of these guys. So I guess it's been about almost 10 years ago. One of the very first wounded warriors that I met is here today. Sergeant Brian Radke, where are you? You over here? All right. So this is Brian. I met Brian a pretty long time ago, and the thing that I love about our program is we stick with our heroes. Brian can tell you that. I've stuck with Brian by his side for the past 10 years. I love him dearly, and he's going to have a few words to say now. So, Sergeant Brian Radke.
Thank you.
you write a speech and then you realize how moving this is. A lot of this generation's soldiers. We might be in different branches, but we're all brothers. You mess with one of us, with all of us. When it comes to Heather, oh God. I could talk for probably 2 hours, but I'm not going to bore you all that long. But talking about having another mother, she has always been there. When I was in ICU at Walter Reed back in 2005, she met my wife, and my wife was really tired, and she came and sat in my room. I remember waking up one time going, who the heck's this lady? And then start talking, and ever since then, it's been one heck of a ride. I'm so proud of you and everything you've accomplished with the organization. And thank you to all of you who showed up and support Wounded Warriors and veterans in general. If it wasn't for you guys, this isn't really all worth it. So, with that, I'm going to end this. Gotta love having a brain injury. Had a nice speech figured out, got up here and forgot it. I was wounded in 2005 by a roadside bomb in Baghdad, Iraq. Spent 4.5 years at Walter Reed Army Medical Center. And by the time I got out of Walter Reed in 2009, I had 75 surgeries. Finally got out of the wheelchair after 3 years. And just been doing the best we can. Thank you for your support. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you, Brian. Okay, I think we're good on time. Where's Chris? Chris, do you want to just proceed with the rest of the speeches at this point? Okay. Luke Slawinski. So, part of the reason why we're here today is because my 11-year-old son came to me a few years back. He's now 15 and a half, and he had an idea that he put together about honor and courage, and he literally had an outline. Mom, this is what I want to do. This is how we're going to take care of the guys. We put the program together, and here we are today. He's actually getting changed right now because he's not going to run in his uniform, so we're just going to give him a second so he can take the stage. Luke is a staff sergeant in Liberty Young Marines. And at this point, ladies and gentlemen, Young Marine Staff Sergeant Luke Slawinski.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. All right, before I introduce our next guest, I have a message for all the young people in the audience today. I want you to know that it's okay to say yes ma'am or yes sir. You should be holding the door open for elders, or make sure you give them your seat. Get off the computer, put your phones down, and stop worrying about how many likes you get on Facebook or Instagram. Go outside and make some real friends. You're young and you're an American. You have a lot to contribute to our society. Stop stepping on our American flag and start stepping up to volunteer. Put your pants up, speak with respect, and make a difference in our future. The other point I want to make is when you make a commitment, stick with it. If you join a team, you're a part of the team. They depend on you. Always remember, quitters never win, and winners never quit. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Staff Sergeant Luke Slawinski. I've been in the Young Marines for almost 8 years now. I have to tell you, being a Young Marine has been an incredible experience for me, and I wouldn't trade these years for anything. And I know I'll remember them for the rest of my life. In addition to being a Young Marine, I also helped my mom put together Operation Ward 57's Honor and Courage program. I'm a pretty lucky guy. Ever since I was 5 years old, I went with my mom down to Walter Reed Medical Hospital. And I met some of the most amazing people of my life there. These heroes that I've met have become such an important part of my life. They literally became like my own brothers. These men, even though they are severely wounded, are still giving back to society. They are still setting examples for people like me to follow. Men like Corporal Todd Love and Staff Sergeant Earl Granville, and so many others. A few years ago, I met a Marine at Walter Reed, and the more I found out about him, I realized how much I really looked up to him. Yes, I look up to him because he is a hero, but I also look up to him because of the example he sets for others. Because of the fact that even though he himself was never severely injured, because of the fact that even though he was severely injured, it was more important to him to give support to his fellow wounded brothers. 6 years ago, on May 5th, Corporal Tyler Southern stepped on a 10-pound homemade bomb. He lost both his legs and his right arm. I met him not much later after he was injured. And over the past 6 years, this man has literally become my brother. There isn't a single thing I wouldn't do for him. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored and proud to introduce to you my friend and my brother, Corporal Tyler Southern.
Thank you, Luke. Everything he said about me mirrors for him. I never met an 11-year-old that I would have happily taken into combat, so I love you, Staff Sergeant. They got me following all these heavy hitters, so I'm oddly a little nervous. But like he said, my name is Corporal Tyler Southern. 6 years ago, stepped on a bomb, changed my life a little bit, and then 5 months later, started dating my now wife. Where's she at? Hey, there she is. This is my beautiful wife and my 2 beautiful children. She doesn't like when I do that. Coming out to these events answers and reassures something that a lot of us do worry about as wounded veterans. I don't know if I can speak for everybody, but I know I speak for a lot of us that there are days that we worry that the things that we have been through may have been in vain and that no one may care and things like that. And it's days like today that it's concreted that it wasn't, because all y'all might have had something else to do today, but you're here. And I am eternally grateful from the bottom of my heart for your love, support, and doing this run. I would like to take a second. If you were prior service, active duty, anything in the crowd, could you raise your hand for me, please? Can we get a round of applause for them, please? And once more, if you don't mind, could you raise your hand if you fought in Vietnam? Welcome home. Like the prayer went, I hope everyone has a beautiful, fun, safe day. And God bless the Slawinski brood.
Okay, so I think at this point, if you guys, whoever the runners are, you're going to head over, start heading over to the start line there. Oh, wait, hold up. Okay, we still have some people in line who are registering, so I'm going to turn this over to Chris, and he's got a few more words to say to you guys.
All right. First off, all the runners, it's a